What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger. We are back at you again today with another MLB 16 The Show Diamond Dynasty video. It's time for our weekly edition of This Week in Baseball, the YouTube series where we talk about everything going on in Major League Baseball over some Diamond Dynasty gameplay. We actually got some Battle Royale gameplay for you guys today. This is from the team that I drafted in yesterday's live draft video, so if you missed it, you want to see the draft, go check it out. Let's jump into the news. Obviously, the big news of the week, which happened over the weekend, Sunday afternoon. The big fight between the Texas Rangers and the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, this drama kind of goes back to last year, the playoffs. Jose Bautista hits a huge home run, does a bat flip. I honestly have no problems with the bat flip. At that point, that time in the game, I mean, it was a playoff game, an intense situation. He went ahead and did it. Now, these two teams faced 6 or 7 times this season already since this fight, or I should say before this fight. And I guess the Rangers finally decided to retaliate in the 8th inning of the 7th game. It doesn't make much sense. If you guys had beef with Bautista or the Blue Jays, this should have happened the very next game. That's usually how these things go in baseball. These players kind of police themselves. And, you know, I had no problem with the whole incident. I'm going to talk about the suspensions, and I might be on the opposite side of this argument for most of your opinions. But I think Odor's 8-game suspension is not right. And here's my thinking. You guys have watched baseball scuffles, fights, bench-clearing brawls in the past. And for the most part, they're sloppy. Let's be honest. Baseball players aren't boxers. You don't really see intense fights. It's a lot of pushing and shoving. But nobody really wants to do anything. And I think Rougned Odor got suspended 8 games because he throws a mean right hook. Let's be real, if that punch did not land, if Bautista did not get chin checked the way he did, I don't think he'd be suspended 8 games. Like I said, I think he's being punished because he throws a good right hook, and I think that's unfair. He got suspended 8 games. John Gibbons gets 3 games. Jesse Chavez gets 3 games. Bautista gets 1. Elvis Andrus got 1. And Tim Leapier got 1. But, you know, you guys are probably tired of hearing the story. You probably know what happened. I'm not going to go over that. I just think the suspensions were not really justified. I don't think Bautista's move was really that grimy. There's several pictures of Odor doing the same thing in his career. I think 4 or 5 images all in one screenshot I saw where he was just sliding dirty. I think that's kind of part of the game. And, you know, Odor had a right to get mad, just like somebody would have a right to get mad against him. You know, Bautista was ready to fight too. He squared up. Let's just be real. He was looking for a fight as well, and he got punched in the face, and that is that. So let's move on. Luckily, this week, guys, we broke the streak. I don't have any PED reports. Nobody's cheating. Nobody's doing illegal substances. We don't have anything to report there, so that's good news. Let's talk about David Ortiz. I mentioned him a couple weeks ago. I mentioned the Red Sox a couple weeks ago playing really, really good baseball. Ortiz had a walk-off either double or triple, and forgive me, I can't even remember who it was against. It was over the weekend, Saturday afternoon. And with that, he became just the 3rd player in Major League Baseball history. Some pretty good names to join company with. Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, and now David Ortiz, the only players in baseball to have over 600 doubles and 500 home runs. So Ortiz, again, his last season, I'm just wondering if he continues to play at this level, is there a chance that he might say, nah, I think I'm coming back, guys? I don't know. You know, I wouldn't be mad if it happened. Tim Lincecum, he's back. He goes to the Angels. He worked out for a couple teams. People watched him pitch. I really thought because of the struggles that Matt Cain and Jake Peavy have had that we'd see him back in San Francisco. But that's not the case. He goes to L.A. Angels, that is. They need some help. They lose Garrett Richards for the season. I believe they lost C.J. Wilson for the season. Can't remember if it was C.J. Wilson or Jaron Weaver. They lost one of them for the season. They need pitching help, so Lincecum goes there. We had our first managerial firing of the season. The Atlanta Braves, who are just dreadful this season, though they did win last night for the first time with their new manager, who is Brian Snitker. I hope I didn't butcher his name. But Freddie Gonzalez was fired for the Braves. They are 10-29 right now. I believe the worst record in baseball, tied with the Minnesota Twins. So I think, people saw that coming. The Braves have struggled for the last couple years. And, that's that. So let's go over the standings here while we're talking about teams' records, something we did not get to do in last week's episode. In the NL West, the Giants have a 2.5 game lead on the Colorado Rockies and the LA Dodgers. Giants are playing really, really well right now. They've won 7 in a row, 7 out of their last 10, so that means they were on a 3-game losing streak, turned it around, and have now won 7 straight. The Washington Nationals have a half a game lead and a game and a half lead on their division foes, being the Phillies and then the Mets. Nationals and Mets are playing each other in a series right now. I can't remember if it was a 4 or 3 game series, but I know the third game of it is tonight. They've split 1-1 so far. The Philadelphia Phillies continue to be very impressive. They've won 7 out of their last 10. They're getting great pitching from Aaron Nola, from Vince Velasquez. They're getting runs on the board, but the pitching, I think, is the biggest surprise, and that's really good to see. The Phillies were dreadful last year, so good to see them turn around. Another team, they're 3 games back, but the Miami Marlins are really good as well, and I think a sneaky team to watch there. The NL East is going to be pretty competitive, minus the Braves there, but the Marlins are 21-19. NL Central, the Cubs, though they haven't been playing as great as they did in the beginning of the season, they're 6-4 in their last 10. They still lead the NL Central by 7.5 games with a 28-10 record. Pittsburgh 21-18, Cardinals 21-19. Both trailed them. Milwaukee's 12 games back. The Reds, who got off to a good start and are now struggling, are 14 games back. In the American League, this thing has kind of been going back and forth, and honestly, I think this is how it's going to go all season. Baltimore has a half a game lead on the Red Sox. Baltimore finding their groove. Adam Jones playing well after a slow start. They have won 8 out of their last 10, 24-14 record. The Red Sox trail them again by a half a game, 25-16. They've won 7 out of their last 10, so they're still playing well. The Blue Jays, who I think a lot of people thought were going to win that division, not looking so good. Losers of 5 straight. They just haven't been winning since that fight over the weekend. In the AL Central, the White Sox continue to lead that division, 24-16 record, but they have lost 4 in a row. In the Cleveland Indians, who I really think can win this AL Central. I've been quiet about them, but I love their pitching staff. They got Salazar, they got Corey Kluber, they got bats like Francisco Lindor, obviously. They got a good squad, and I think they could surprise some people. They get Michael Brantley back recently from injury. Watch out for the Indians. The defending World Series champs are 4 games back with a 20-20 record. Detroit is 19-21, though they have won 4 straight. And then in the AL West, the Mariners have been leading this division for a couple weeks now, 22-17. They are 5-5 in their last 10. The Rangers are 22-19, a game back. Oakland 4 games back. The Angels are 4.5 games back, and the A's have won 4 in a row. So watch out for them, those budget ballers. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition. Not a lot of news to get into, but it was good going over the standings. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about in future episodes, reach out to me on Twitter. I had somebody else do it this week, and he wanted me to bring up the A's. I did. They're playing good baseball. Valencia, Chris Davis playing very well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.